What's up, everybody? This is Domingo here on Network, and today's wrestling video, I'm going to be talking about one wrestling promotion. I'm going to talk about this promotion that, I actually love and I missed it, and, rest in peace to this promotion. And today I'm going to be talking about the history of ECW. Yeah, ECW. Oh man, I miss ECW so much. So here we go. So ECW was founded in 1992, and now way before ECW used to be known as Extreme Championship Wrestling, they used to be known as Easter Championship Wrestling back on April 25th, 1992. Easter Championship Wrestling, the name was from 1992 to 1994, for 2 years. In 1994, they dropped the name Easter and they put the name Extreme. And 1994, of course, it happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, was born. And I remember years ago, I seen a video years ago, a wrestler by the name, the franchise Shane Douglas. I think at the time ECW had like a partnership with the NWA. I think I remember Shane Douglas, drop the NWA World Title to the ground in the middle of the ring, and then show off the ECW Championship. And that's what the whole Extreme Championship Wrestling started. I believe so. I believe that's when it started, because I hear stories about this, and from people as well. And that's when ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling was born. And I have to say, ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling, they have so many great matches. They got so many interesting, violent matches. Using chairs and ladders and tables. You see a flaming table. You see a baseball bat barbed wire. You see some barbed wire. You see a barbed wire wrapped around a piece of wood. You see lead pipes. You see chairs wrapped around the barbed wire. Flaming tables. You see ladders and stuff. You see somebody threw off another wrestler off the balcony through multiple tables and stuff. They have so many great moments. And just like the WWF and WCW back in the days, ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, also known as the original ECW, was one of the reasons why wrestling from back in the day was good back in the days. And not only that, but also ECW, just like the WWF, just like WCW, ECW had wrestlers who are characters and charisma and good gimmicks and amazing storylines and badass hardcore matches. Think about the wrestlers in ECW. You got Rob Van Dam, Mr. ECW, Mr. Pay-Per-View, the whole effing show, man. RVD, man. Then you have the Suicidals, Homicidal, Genocidal, the Defying Mania, Sabu. Then you have Lance Storm, if I could be serious for a minute, Just Incredible, Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten, Tommy Dreamer, the Innovator of Violence, the Sandman coming out through the crowd. Fans were singing his theme song, coming out with a Singapore cake, also known as the kendo stick. Grab the beer, and then boom, 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 like that, and it's amazing. Then you have other wrestlers like Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys. You got Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Spike Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, Side Guy Dudley. Oh, all the Dudley family boys. Devon, get the tables! Then you have Lionheart, Chris Jericho. Then you have Rey Mysterio, the master of the 619. You have Super Crazy. You have Tajiri, the Japanese buzzsaw. You have Mikey Whipwreck. You also have Psychosis. You have Hunter Guerrero. Hell, you even got wrestlers like Scott Hall. Scott Hall made an appearance in ECW, I think around 1995. Hell, Scott Hall, the bad guy, made an appearance in ECW. That was in 1995, I believe. And it's amazing. And then you got Mike Awesome. You have Taz, the Human Suplex Machine, Bam Bam Bigelow, Misato Tanaka, and the list goes on and on. So many great ECW originals. They all have characters. They were badass. They have star power. It was amazing. These guys put their bodies online. We have seen a lot of great moments. We've seen some badass hardcore matches. We've seen tag teams in. Think about the championship. You got the ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and think about the wrestler who will hold the title. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, first ever champion, you know, was Jimmy Superfly Snuka when it was known as Eastern Championship Wrestling. You know, you got other wrestlers like, you know, hell, you even got you got Sabu was ECW World Champion, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Taz was ECW Champion, Raven, Just Incredible, who else is it? Jerry Lynn, and the list goes on and on. You know, there's like all the ECW, man. And then you got the ECW Tag Team titles. You know, the Dudley Boys held the ECW Tag Team Championship 8 times. And then you have the ECW World Television Championship. Rob Van Dam was champion. He held that. He was the longest reigning television champion in history. Held that title for 23 months. Never lost that championship. And you got wrestlers like, you know, who else held the title? You know, like Raven and stuff. Even Rhino. Rhino held the ECW championship. And he also became ECW television champion. He held those 2 titles at the same time simultaneously. And Rhino became the last ECW television champion. And at one point, Rhino used to be the last person held the ECW World title, which, you know, I'll get to that in a minute. And there are so many amazing hardcore matches. Hell, even Cactus Jack, Terry Funk was there. You know, you got the Gangsters, Mustafa Saeed, and New Jack. Remember New Jack? Yeah. And of course, you got to say nice things about New Jack, because you don't want to get on his bad side, because you know he might want to come find you and probably gonna stab you. You know, so watch out. You're the man, New Jack. You're the man. But yeah, like, we see so many great moments they have battle. We even see some controversies. Oh man, like the time that Raven like tied up the Sandman into like some sort of cross with a barbed wire. Oh man, that was way too. That was a little bit low. That was way low. We seen so many extreme moments. Hell, I've just seen Taz delivered a tax mission on Bam Bam Bigelow, and then on the ECW stage, and then Bam Bam moved threw his back at him, and Taz fell right through the ECW stage. Oh man, that was crazy. That was extreme. Or the time that Cactus Jack and Terry Funk were in the ring, telling all the ECW fans to throw all these chairs. I remember all these fans. Oh man, ECW fans back then. Oh man, they were. Woo, man, they were savages back then. They threw all the they got up, they threw the chairs into the ring, and you hear the ring announcer screaming, "Please do not throw the chairs in the ring. Please do not throw the chairs in the ring. Stop the chairs. Stop the chairs. Do not throw chairs into the ring." Oh man, that was a moment I would never ever forget. Hey, and that video, I see a video about that. Hey, it's still up in the YouTube. Go look it up, guys. Yeah, like that was incredible. Of course, the ECW had to call off the SWAT team to calm down all those fans from throwing chairs into the ring. Like, oh man, that was incredible. All the time there was a lot. All the time we seen flaming tables, like we see Dudley Boys putting people to table. Hell, there's a lot of controversy. Like the Dudley Boys cut a promo, which was not only good, but also was controversy. You see wrestlers like cursing and stuff like that as well. And not only that, but also there's another controversy years ago that this happened in a house show and it never showed on television, which thank God. And the graphics, oh man, I'm telling you, the graphics, watch out. You know, the whole mass transit incident, you know, with a kid involving New Jack and stuff, like, oh man, that was crazy. You know, that was like, because I remember at that time that happened in a house show, and an ECW fan, there was a fan who actually recorded the whole thing on his cell phone and put it up on the internet at that time. And you know, it's a good thing that thank God they didn't show that on television, otherwise it would have been worse, because you know, the graphics though, oh man, forget about it, you know. And there are so many good matches and great moments and all these fine. And of course, you know, I remember in the past, you know, fans would criticize ECW for, why they use, you know, like cursing and violence against women and using weapons and all that stuff. Well, Paul Heyman has a reason, because he said that, you know, they did it for entertainment. Because they're doing it for the entertainment. They're giving real wrestling fans what they want. ECW listens to real wrestling fans at the time. You know, ECW has about the heart, the soul, the desire, and the passion, and not to mention a connection to the ECW fans, you know. It was amazing. It was pretty amazing. I remember I used to watch ECW when it was shown on, I think it was TNN at the time, something like that. And of course, in 2001, in 2001, ECW went bankrupt. The same year that WWF bought WCW after WWF defeated WCW in the Monday Night Wars in 2001 and bought the WCW company. On that same year, ECW went bankrupt, and the reason why it went bankrupt, out of business, is because, they wasn't making a lot of money. They had like unpaid salary problems, and they wasn't making a lot of money at that time. That's why it went bankrupt, and of course WWE did purchase the ECW, but it wasn't confirmed until like 2 years later in 2003 when they officially purchased the ECW, buyouts and stuff, in a consortium and this, and then in 2000, and I know for years Paul Heyman was talking to Vince McMahon, talking about, bring back ECW as a third brand and stuff, which I don't know why I want to call it a third brand, but, but anyway, that's Paul Heyman, because, Paul Heyman, is the father of ECW, and, former owner of the ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, Paul Heyman is a genius, man. He's one of the greatest managers of all time, man. And for years, he was talking about Vince McMahon trying to bring ECW back. And of course, in 2005 and in 2006, they have not one but two ECW One Night Stand pay-per-views. And ECW's One Night Stand from 2005 and 2006 were awesome pay-per-views. It was great. I remember watching those two pay-per-views. It was awesome. I really enjoyed ECW's One Night Stand for 2005 and 2006. It was great. No doubt about it. We've seen a lot of good stuff in this day. And then in 2006, it was WWE decided to bring back ECW, but it's under the WWE banner, and it was WWE's version of ECW. Now, at first, ECW was good because, the whole ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view from 2005 to 2006. But when ECW was on Sci-Fi at the time in 2006 and stuff, a lot of wrestling fans, ECW fans who are loyal, die-hard ECW fans, we all did not like the WWE's version of ECW, because when wrestling fans was questioning it, saying that, if they're going to bring back ECW, can they bring back, the ECW from back in the days and stuff? Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen, and a lot of wrestling fans have called WWE's version of ECW a botch reboot. And there's a reason for that, because, WWE's version of ECW had a bad start. Of course, in 2006 One Night Stand, Rob Van Dam, who was Mr. Money in the Bank, catching on John Cena, won the WWE title, and he also became WWE champion and ECW champion. He was the first wrestler to ever hold both of those titles simultaneously. He was a double champion. And Rob Van Dam kind of messed up his career because years ago, him and Sabu, got arrested for, I think it was like DWI, and he had like some kind of cornet stuff, like maybe smoking some type of weed or something in the car, and WWE had to like do a storyline to force Rob Van Dam to drop both the WWE title on Monday Night Raw and the ECW World title on an episode of ECW, the next day. And, I like Rob Van Dam. He's a great character, but what happened, he kind of messed up his own career. If Rob Van Dam and Sabu would never did what they did, there's no doubt that Rob Van Dam would have a good run as both EWW and ECW champion, but you never know, Of course, in WWE's version of ECW, they got debuts. Of course, they have debuts, like, women like Kelly, who, and I gotta say, Kelly, when she first came into ECW, she was beautiful. She had character and star power and stuff. She used to be a member of the Extreme Expose in ECW with Layla and Brooke at the time. They were pretty good, She was great. I like Kelly. And she was amazing, And, they got like other wrestlers and stuff, They even have WWE guys in ECW, like Big Show became ECW champion. Elijah Berg was there. I know ECW, they debuted CM Punk in 2006, Paul Heyman was responsible for that because for some reason Paul Heyman sees something in CM Punk that he actually likes. I don't know what that is. So, yeah, of course, CM Punk debuted in ECW in 2006. And, he was also ECW champion. Johnny Nitro, John Morrison was ECW champion. Chavo Guerrero Jr. was ECW champion. Kane was ECW champion. Matt Hardy was ECW champion. Jack Swagger as well. Christian was a two-time ECW champion. And not to mention the last ECW original who was in ECW, probably longer than in WWE's version of ECW, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer won the ECW title second time. And he became the first and only wrestler to ever win the ECW title from the original ECW and WWE's version of ECW. That happened, I think, in 2009 when he won the title. and then he lost the title later to Christian. And in 2000, and of course in 2008, WWE went PG, and ECW got worse. And it made no sense because ECW is supposed to be about, Extreme Championship Wrestling. It's about hardcore and badass hardcore matches and stuff. And it was PG at the time in 2008. ECW got worse, like way worse. And not only that, but also 1 year later in 2009, ECW's ratings were going down. Like, they were going low, man. ECW's rating for 2009 started to go low. Like, they were going down, the shitters, And then in January 2010, Vince McMahon announced that they were going to end WWE's version of ECW, which is probably for the best because WWE ECW was not good at all. And they replaced it with the first season of NXT and stuff, so, yeah. I feel like if they were going to bring back ECW, they shouldn't have done the same thing like what happened with the original ECW. Extreme hardcore matches and stuff. All these badass matches and stuff like that. They couldn't have done that. But Vince McMahon decided to mess it up. And not to mention 2006, they had that ECW December to December pay-per-view. It was a horrible pay-per-view. I'll tell you that. One of the worst pay-per-views in WWE history, Some people say that maybe WWE should never bring back ECW, Which I agree, because, Vince McMahon wants to, fuck it up, So, yeah, and that's it for this video, guys. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and post your comments in the comments below. Tell me what you think about ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. And that's it for this video, guys. So this is Domingo Hero Network. Take care, have a good day, and goodbye, everyone. And Domingo Hero Network, signing out. Peace.